York Jets are now on the board.
Okay, Jet fans, Darrell Revis.
Being in New York has been one of the greatest blessings.
Zach's Fifth Avenue, wearing that one right now.
The New York Jets flag.
What happens in Las Vegas won't stay there this week. In fact, what happens in Vegas at the NFL Draft will have a huge impact on the future of the New York Jets. The green and white are on the search for a desert oasis with their 2022 draft class. Welcome to our final Jets Draft Countdown Series installment presented by Duncan. I'm Eric Allen. Coming up, it's time for our first and only mock draft featuring Anthony Becht, Ethan Greenberg, and Eric Coleman. Plus, Caroline Hendershot and Brian Baldinger will break down some of the top defenders in this class. We'll also hear from the Athletics' Dane Brugler. Well, let's start with Jets GM Joe Douglas and Assistant Jets GM Rex Hogan. From both of your perspectives, how different is it at this point this year compared to last year, knowing that you have a quarterback in place? Let's start with you, Joe.
Well, it's great having Zach going in the second year. See him out there with all the wide receivers throwing the ball in OTA, so it's good to have that locked in. And it's also great having players in before the draft, which we weren't able to do the last 2 years because of COVID. So it's great to have these guys come in on 30 days and spend time.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to get to that. But how is your job different, Rex, knowing that Zach is here and starting year two?
It makes the preparation a lot easier. It's one less position that you have to focus on. And now you focus on adding protection and playmakers offensively and then addressing the needs on defense. So, again, it makes life a lot easier from our perspective.
Yeah, how different does it feel, not just having a quarterback in place, but last 2 years we've been dealing with the pandemic. Like now you do have guys here on the prospect visits for the first time in your tenure as general manager.
Yeah, I think we were able to get 2 guys in before everything got crazy, before the 2020 draft. But after that, we've had a year where there was no combine and pro days, a year where there was pro days and no pro days but a combine. So it's good to have this face-to-face time with players, not only from our perspective, but to get these guys in our building, to have them spend time with our player engagement team, spend time with our media relations team, spend time with a lot of different touch points in the building, and so they can see what their day-to-day life's going to be like as a New York Jet.
So how do you guys weigh production versus potential? Because you've both talked about Saleh and his staff, the way these guys teach and develop players. So that's got to come into forecasting as well.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the core traits for any player, going back to really how much they love the game. But ideally, you're looking for both, right? You're looking for the production and the ceiling and the potential. But a lot of times you're projecting on players, and a lot of players, they don't run the exact same as us. So we're projecting their fit within our scheme. That's where these discussions last week with our coaching staff and our scouts were so important, to get each team's perspective on how this player specifically fits into our organization.
Talk about the board. You mentioned the horizontal and the vertical aspects.
Right. Yeah, that's the balance of the draft, is measuring in each one of the position groups, the vertical aspect, how you have that guy rated within the position group, and then the horizontal aspect is measured against the other positions throughout the draft. And when you get to the point that you have guys at the same level, that's when you go into, all right, who has the highest amount of love? What's the highest level of character and commitment to the game? Who's going to hit their ceiling out of the group who are sequenced together?
Can you talk about need versus best player available? It's the old adage that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to have our, we go into every draft with our top 150 players, and they're ranked specifically for the New York Jets. And so I think you can get into trouble if you start going need versus best player available. So I think it's important for us to really follow the board, and then always take the best player available.
Final question for both of you. We'll start with you, Rex. If you had walk-up music and you were drafted, what would be your song?
Let's go right above it with Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Big Lil Wayne guy.
Joe, where are you going?
That's a good question, man. I'm going Midnight Rider.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that song. I think it's just sweet.
All right, good
Midnight
stuff.
Rider.
Good stuff. Thanks, fellas. Before we get rolling with our mock draft, here's Dane Brugler's final 7-round mock for the Jets. And speaking of Dane, let's get some of his final thoughts before the weekend.
All right, Dane, here's what we're going to do. I got a lot of rapid-fire questions for you. We're going to start with this one. Where is the first pivot point in the 2022 NFL Draft?
Even if you believe that whoever goes 1 will go 2, or whoever won't go 1 will go 2, so maybe we know the first 2 picks, okay, then 3. If Houston's a team that is rebuilding from the ground up. Literally, I think besides quarterback, any positions on the board for them. So, the pick right in front of the Jets there at 4 with the Texans, that's a big kind of pivot point of the first round, especially the top 10.
Okay, Dane, I need 2 names. One guy who's going to be called earlier than what people are expecting, and one guy who's going to be called later than what people are expecting.
I think that maybe Trevor Penning. I think these offensive tackles are going to go quickly. And then Tyler Linderbaum. We've talked about him quite a bit throughout the year as being this really awesome center prospect. But at the same time, he's a center only, he's scheme specific, and a lot of teams are just going to be out because of that lack of length that he has. So I would not be surprised at all if Tyler Linderbaum falls out of the first round and into day 2. And then you have to wonder, okay, with Jets having 2 picks early in the second round, could they be in the mix there for Tyler Linderbaum if he were to fall that far?
Dane, complete the following sentence. The first wide receiver to be selected in the 2022 NFL Draft will be?
Right now, I'll guess that's Jameson Williams. Coming off the ACL, I think that he's the speed is special, and that's what teams are looking for.
And let's wrap up with the fun one. Your favorite name in the 2022 Draft is what?
There's a lot of good ones. I think I'm going to go with Bear Hunter, a center from App State.
Bear Hunter, great name. I'm going with Smoke Monday for my choice. Dane, thanks a lot. We appreciate your time as always. Enjoy Vegas and enjoy the draft.
Thanks, Ethan. Enjoy the draft as well.
The New York Jets Schedule Challenge presented by JetBlue is back. Win $100,000 by correctly predicting the exact order of all 17 games, including the bye week. Visit JetsScheduleChallenge.com for a chance to win and official rules. The 2022 New York Jets schedule presented by JetBlue is coming Thursday, May 12th. Sign up to be the first to know at nyjets.com/schedule release. Let's go across the studio and break down some of the film of the top defensive prospects in this class. Here are Caroline and Baldy.
Thanks, EA. Baldy's here with me. We're going to break down some of the top defensive prospects. Let's start out with one of the best, I think, Travon Walker.
Well, Travon Walker is a guy that you can line up anywhere. Like here he is in a one technique, okay? And on this play here, like he's going to run this twist stunt and he's going to end up getting to the quarterback. But really you can line him up. They dropped him in the coverage at Georgia. They played him on the edge. They played him inside. He's got a lot of flexibility. Like right here, once he gets inside, now he just closes to the quarterback and takes him down. Very disruptive guy, huge frame on him, ran incredibly well at the combine.
Another very disruptive guy who was able to get a ton of sacks this past year was Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon.
Well, he was the high school player of the year, coming out of Dorsey High School and Oaks Christian in Los Angeles. And really, he went to Oregon and he could beat guys inside, like he does on this play right here. He can beat them outside. He beats them with first step quickness. He is an elite athlete. His suddenness and his ability just to get on the inside right here and get to the quarterback. At the end of the day, because of his talent, he might end up becoming the best in this whole class.
Not only was he quick here, he was quick at the combine with a 4.58 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Somebody who also had a 4.58 was Florida State's Jermaine Johnson.
Well, Jermaine Johnson played at Florida for his first 2 years. He transferred because he wanted to play in a different scheme. And so on this scheme right here, like he's going to rush speed and then he's going to come with power. And like really, he's got an array of moves. This is one of them. That's a move that can win on Sundays at the NFL level.
Now, instead of talking about the #1 overall edge rusher of this draft, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, he probably won't be on the board when the Jets get to #4 pick. We're going to go and talk about someone who the Jets fans are ecstatic with, Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
The man with a great nickname is up right here. And he has been an incredible player at Cincinnati for 3 years. He's got 9 interceptions in 3 years, but he's never given up a touchdown. Never surrendered one touchdown in his whole career. But one of the reasons why is even like right here, his ability just to plaster a receiver and stick to him. He has that ability. And so that when the quarterback breaks out right here, his eyes never go off the quarterback. And he tracks the ball. That's one of his 9 interceptions on that play right there. He is a talented big corner, 6'3", and can run like the wind.
The Jets draft on Dunkin' Sweepstakes is back. Win Dunkin' coffee for a year and 2 Coaches Club tickets with an on-field experience for the 2022 Jets home opener at MetLife Stadium. Visit NewYorkJets.com/Dunkin' for a chance to win and official rules.
You are watching the Jets Draft Countdown Series presented by Dunkin'. I'm Eric Allen, joined in studio by Eric Coleman. Man, you look ready for a draft. Great outfit. We're going to get much more on that later. But it's time for our first and only mock draft, as myself and EC will team up, as will our own Ethan Greenberg and Anthony Beck. Fellas, are you ready? Starting with you, E.
Absolutely. We put in the work. Let's get these draft picks going.
AB, sometimes throughout the year, we witnessed a contentious relationship between yourself and the aforementioned Ethan Greenberg. You guys going to be okay today?
Well, clearly to the fans watching this is going to be easy. Me and Ethan are dressed a lot more conservatively. We look like GMs. You guys, on the other hand, looking like Crockett and Tubbs. I think that's going to be the difference in this one here. I think we're going to lean and get the fans to go on our side.
Hey, Miami Vice, you can't go wrong. This is the way it's going to work today. You guys have the number 4 and number 38 selections, the Mad Men. The middlemen get number 10 and number 35 overall for the Jets. Ethan, let's get to your hypothetical scenarios at number 4.
All right, EA. Well, let's start with some of the guys that are on the board. We're taking Aiden Hutchinson off because he's projected to go somewhere in the top 3, most popular pick number 1 or number 2 overall. So let's just take him off the board, taking a look. Pretty popular names to the Jets at number 4 along the mock draft circuit. But Anthony, who are you bringing to the table as your pick as we decide together who's going to be the 4th overall selection?
Well, Ethan, I think I can speak for both of us. When you pick at number 4, you need guys that have made plays, guys that have put something on film, and they've shown you something. And the guy that sticks out to me is Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati. Ultra productive at 6'3", 220 pounds. This guy never gave up a touchdown reception in his entire college career and only gave up 13 catches for just over 100 yards in this past season. On the Cincinnati defense. Listen, I think he's going to fit in great. I think he'd be a guy you could put in there and he could groom himself to be one of the better corners in the division and shut down some of these premier receivers. We also look at a lot of these receivers now in the league that have a little more size to him. He'll match up well on that front as well. So with the speed and the size and the combination of production, I really like Sauce Gardner at this pick.
You know, I like it a lot too, and I think that he'd jump in from the get and probably start for the Jets. Obviously, the Jets have a very improved cornerback room with DJ Reed, and then you think about where that room was last year compared to where it would be with Sauce Gardner, with Bryce Hall and Brandon Echols as well. The depth would be fantastic. I'm pushing my chips on the table for a pass rusher here, Anthony, and I know that Travon Walker was on the board, but he's projected a top 3 pick. I feel kind of guilty just going with it because I don't know if he'll be there when the Jets pick at 4 on Thursday night. So let's go with Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. I know there are questions about the personality, but as a player, Anthony, stellar career for the Oregon Ducks. He was the 4th unanimous All-American in school history this past season, 19 sacks. He showed he could do it. I know he's a little banged up this past season, and I know that there are questions about his personality, but you think about what the Jets want to do. They want to build up front, whether that's offense, whether that's defense, and with a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau, you're not holding your breath that an edge rusher is there at number 10, where I think maybe you can go with corner in a different round. So I'm going with Kayvon Thibodeau, but the choice is yours, Anthony. We going with Sauce or are we going with Kayvon?
Yeah, I think the most intriguing question of this draft is where are these 4 pass rushers going to go? Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Walker, and Johnson. I think you hit a nail on the head. I'm willing to go with this. I like Thibodeau at this pick. I think he's a guy that right now, like you said, production. He's shown it on film, done it against some of the best talent that's out there. Those other things are swirling. I think a lot of players have those things swirling about them, about what their likes and what they like to do off the field. But as far as on the field, this kid answers the bell every single time.
All right, there you have it, EA. Pick number 4. pass rusher Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon for the green and white.
Okay, finally, it's our time to get on the clock at number 10. Let's take a look at some of our options here in our hypothetical scenario.
There are a ton of options at 10. A lot of talent here, as you see a lot of receivers. But I'm going to go with the safety position, the big-time playmaker out of Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton. He's 6'4", 220, rangy. He's physical in the box. I think he'd be a good addition. When I look at him, when I think about him as a player, I think about a Cam Chancellor, a guy who can be a big-time disruptor, do a great job of covering tight ends in this tight end-heavy NFL league we're playing in.
Of course you had to go safety. Listen, I got to go to the other side of the ball. The Jets address need there at number 4 in our mock draft, with the fellas taking Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. How about Jameson Williams out of Alabama? Okay, he transfers from Ohio State to Alabama after playing with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, who, oh, by the way, are probably going to be a first-round selection. Last year, 79 receptions, nearly 1,600 yards receiving, nearly 20 yards a catch. He did have a couple drops, but he was just one of 3 FBS players to reach 1,500 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns. And he did this in the Southeastern Conference. Now, here's the thing. Tore his ACL in the national championship game against Georgia. So what is his health? If that didn't happen, I don't think we're asking ourselves, is he a top 10 selection? We're asking ourselves, where in the top 10 is he going to go? The Jets want to accelerate the progress of Zach Wilson. How do you do that? You add a playmaker. This guy is a big-time playmaker. And remember, the Jets pursued a cheetah in Tyreek Hill before, a guy who can beat man coverage. Hill lands in Miami, but in this draft, we're going to take Jameson Williams, number 10 overall. All right, so we're sticking with us here since we do have the middle picks. We're coming back at the top of day 2, the 35th overall selection. Remember last year, the Jets grabbed Elijah Moore at the top of the 2nd round. What do you think of the options here on day 2?
I think there are some great options on the board, but you didn't give me my safety with pick number 10. I'm taking Lewis Seen out of Georgia. He's a big-time playmaker, needs to beef up a little bit, but he's reckless. He plays with all gas, no brakes. You talk about Robert Saleh's mentality. This guy embodies it. He's very physical. He's active. I think he'd be a great addition to this Jets secondary.
You talk to the Georgia players, and they are asked who was the leader of that defense, and they talk about Lewis Seen. He's got such an interesting backstory. Physical ball player, born in Haiti, spent some time in Florida, moved to Boston, went and played for Deion Sanders in Texas. Obviously, he lands in Georgia, wins the national championship. Don't forget about Jaquan Brisker, though. Lackawanna Community College, and then he transfers into Penn State, 153 career tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5 interceptions. He was the unquestioned leader on that Penn State defense. And think about what James Franklin has been bringing in there to the Nittany Lions. I'm not saying this guy's going to be Micah Parsons, but I think he has a high ceiling. We got to consider him, but with this pick, I think we got to go with Ease choice, and that's Lewis Seen out of Georgia. Fellas, what do you think about those 2 picks?
I like him a lot. And, I think that Lewis Seen, if you get him at 35, I think the Jets would be doing backflips for that. My question for you, Anthony, is about pick number 10 with Jameson Williams. EA talked about accelerating the progress of Zach Wilson. Let's say the Jets are there at 10. They have their pick of the litter of wide receiver. What are your thoughts on going with a guy who you don't know when he's going to return to the field because of the knee injury?
Yeah, that's a big factor for me. I want a guy that can play now, especially when you're in the top 10 picks. You're looking for that pick to be part of the equation for the upcoming season. He'll recover fine. Everything will be good. You'll have to wait for that production moving forward. But again, anything can happen. I just feel like sometimes there's a little bit of risk, but he arguably is the best receiver prior to his injury.
All right, well, we have pick number 38 to round out the 2-round mock draft. And so how am I going to tip the scale right now? Because right now we have defense at 4, offense at 10, defense at 35. I'm going with defense. When you look at the options behind me right here, I'm still going with defense. I'm going with the Senior Bowl MVP and Oklahoma defensive tackle Perrion Winfrey. The Jets got an up close and personal look at him in Mobile, Alabama. He brought the juice. He brought energy. He emulates all gas, no brakes. And so here's the thing. Over 40.5% of his tackles took place in opposing backfields. The Jets lost Foley, Fatukasi in free agency. Need some beef in the middle of the defense, and I'm going with Perry and Winfrey.
Well, listen, I see a luxury pick here still on that board, and I have to go with it. Breece Hall to me is the best running back in the draft at 6'1", 220 pounds. The guy ran a 4.3 at the combine, which was lights out. I don't know if he plays at 4.3, but he's got that burst and speed that you're looking for. He's a patient runner that can run the outside zone. You see him kind of be patient along the line of scrimmage as he runs through college, but he also is a big and strong enough back to hit the whole downhill in that power gap scheme. I look this guy to be a guy that can really help the quarterback. 1,500 yards average rushing the last 2 years. Got a lot of tread on the tires now. He ran the ball quite a bit, but 50-plus touchdowns and 80-plus catches. I mean, what's better than that? Sign me up for this kid if he's still available at 38.
A lot of miles on the car there, but you know what makes us a great team, Anthony? You conceded to me at pick 4, and I'll reciprocate. I'll concede to you our final pick in the 2-round mock draft, running back Breece Hall out of Iowa State. Put it in Sharpie over here for Team Anthony and EG. I don't even know if anyone's ever called me EG, but you can call me Greens, whatever. My question to you, EA, is do you think that Breece Hall is a luxury pick like Anthony said?
100% is a luxury pick. The Jets got somebody in the backfield named Michael Carter, and they got him in the 4th round last year. I like Breece Hall as a player. I see some Jonathan Taylor in him. Do you think that's the right pick?
Yeah. I mean, he's a north and south runner. He's physical. I think he's a great compliment to Michael Carter.
Oh, wow. So E supports that pick. You know what I do like in our mock draft here and our hypothetical scenarios? Playmakers for Zach Wilson, because Breece Hall can not only run it, he can catch it out of the backfield. I think Jameson Williams is going to be one of the most electrifying players out of this draft class. And then defensively, AB, you get an edge. And the Jets need an edge in Kayvon Thibodeau here. And then you get a safety. And the Jets already got better at the safety position here in the offseason by signing Jordan Whitehead, a guy with championship pedigree who's just 25 years old.
Yeah, no reason why you can't get 4 starters out of these 4 picks. It's hard. It's really tough to do. But I think this draft aligns. You talked about what that first-round talent looks like and then everybody else falling into place. I think Joe Douglas here has a huge chance to really upgrade this roster and help this team moving forward.
Good job, fellas. I will say that our mock draft did not include trades because I would have been wheeling and dealing and ready for Las Vegas. Great analysis from you guys. The bad news is this was our final installment of the Jets Draft Countdown series presented by Duncan. The good news is the Core 4 will be back for Jets Overtime presented by Duncan. Our specials are going to air throughout the draft Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, just moments after the Jets' final selection. But speaking of the draft, you are dressed to the nines, man. You look ready for Las Vegas, E.
Thank you. Our good friends at Saks Fifth Avenue took care of us. And for an inside look at how this came about, check this out.
Caroline Hendershot here with 2 Jets favorites, Bart Scott and Eric Coleman. And guys, it's our favorite time of the year. It's NFL draft season. So everyone's typically discussing, which player is going to which team, but we all know the real talk is always in the style and the clothing. So with the help of Saks Fifth Avenue, we're gonna take a trip down memory lane and get some inspiration for some looks we wanna create with you guys. That sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, okay, so we're gonna reminisce a little bit first. We're gonna start with Eric Coleman on his draft night. And this is what he was wearing.
Take that. I see you with the Diddy shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sean John. That's how you know it wasn't draft night. I was on Sunday. I was on the last day, so we had a barbecue. So I was getting ready for the barbecue.
So you were nice and relaxed at home.
And your boy, I love your boy, man. He's giving those Zoolander eyes right
there.
Yeah,
that's my former teammate Hamza Abdullah.
Yeah, he's giving blue steel right there. Okay, so we're gonna look at Bart Scott, but Bart was undrafted. Yeah. But this is what we would imagine Bart was wearing. He was home in the massage chair. He was comfortable.
I'm in the closet, man. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there just trying to relax. See, I had to put my massage chair in the closet to hide from the kids because there's no peace for me at the crib.
Oh, yeah, and that's post-draft because you see all the shoes in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I see the nice brands back there.
Quite the sneakerhead nowadays. But, okay, so we're going to recreate some outfits. So, Eric, we're going to go first with you. What outfit gives you the inspiration for what we're going to pick out today?
I looked around and I saw my man Quinnen Williams. He was dressed pretty sharp. I mean, he has the monochromatic look.
Narrow collar right there.
Yeah, that collar is nice with the high peak lapel. He's looking sharp. Got the nice sneakers with it.
You got a nice pop of color in the shoes.
Like Pleasantville, right? He hit a little splash right
Yeah.
there. You gotta be paying
Just
attention.
a little something.
Subtle, but you know, it gives it a little bit of a pop. Okay, now Bart, where did you find your NFL draft outfit inspiration from?
Well, for my inspiration, I went to where it all began. One of the most stylish quarterbacks, one of the most stylish NFL players in NFL history, Broadway Joe. We know about him walking around, making the guarantee, sitting poolside. We know about the fur jacket. And I said, you know what? Let's do a modern twist to a classic. And what place better than Saks with their master tailors, their ability to be able to fit our sloped shoulders, pull up the inseam, the skinny waist, the big thighs. Can't be walking around with stretch pants on.
Gotta have it.
And I know that, you know, Saks can do me justice and they can take my vision and make it a reality. And I can't wait for it.
Okay, you guys picked some great looks and great outfits. I can't wait to see them on you. So I'm gonna go onto Saks.com and order them. And even though they have same-day delivery, let's go pick them up in the store in the city. Finally made it outside of Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm gonna go check in with our stylist and make sure she has everything ready for Bart and Eric, who are en route right now. We are in the Fifth Avenue Men's Club right now, and we are looking at all the styles that you helped create. Desiree is our stylist for the day. Now, Desiree, you helped recreate Bart Scott's vision of Joe Namath on draft day. How did you kind of bring that and make it a modern look?
So we pulled a lot of Prince of Wales patterns, pinstripes, window panes.
Now, Eric wanted to recreate Quinnen Williams' draft day outfit, and that wasn't that long ago. So how did you guys go about that process?
We tried to stay as close to like gray on grays or light blues, and just to keep that monochromatic, clean look.
Well, I'm looking at them now, and I can't wait to see the guys in them, so let's go check it out.
Hello.
Hi Eric. Nice to meet you. I'm Desiree.
Nice to meet you as well.
Welcome to the Fifth Avenue Club.
Oh, I'm excited to get dressed. Definitely my style.
You setting the
What's
bar
up, man?
high, baby.
Hey, you see they got me
You
fly,
casket
man.
sharp right here. I see you, baby. Green on gray on gray.
Oh yeah. Woo. See the sneaks too? Hey, but you're next, so you gotta go get dressed now. Let me see what you got, dog.
Hey, man. I feel like new money, man. We need to be on a yacht somewhere, man. Well, I think we
Saks got us clean, right?
We did them proud. I think we did them proud, you know what I'm saying?
Guys, I was just shopping for myself, but look at you guys.
Don't they look amazing?
The fits look amazing. Well, it looks great. Love the outfits on you guys, and thanks so much to Desiree and Saks for making this possible.
How will it all play out? The dice are about to roll, and we'll have our answers soon. We've had a blast, and we'll see you Thursday night.